Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are talking about light again. But first, before we get into our book, I want to set the scene and I want to ask you a question. So real quick, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to get nice and comfortable. And I want you to imagine that you're in a room with your friends. There's no windows in this room. So maybe it's in a basement. Maybe it's, what's it called? Yeah, that game that you play at All Skate, laser tag. Maybe it's a laser tag room. There's no windows in it, but you're in there with your friends. The door suddenly closes and the lights turn off. What would happen? What would happen if you're in a room? What would it look like? I'm in a room, there's no windows, but there's lights on, so I can still see my friends. I know where everything is. I'm not going to trip over a chair or a couch or anything. I know where everything is. But then the door closes, so there's no outside light now. And then the lights turn off. What would happen? What do you think would happen? All right. After you've thought about what would happen, we're going to turn to this page in our, what's it called? Exploring Light book. I want you to write what would happen. Maybe one sentence, maybe two sentences. What would happen? Go ahead and pause the video to finish your sentences. All right, you got your what would happen? I think it would be super duper dark. Even if it was the middle of the day, it would be so dark. What senses could you use to find your friend? And how or what would you do? So remember our 5 senses. There's sight, smell, hear, see, touch. What? That's 5 senses. Oh, sight and see. I was like, but they don't have taste. So, that's cool. Sight and see are the same thing, right? If you have sight, you can see. That's cool. All right. So, hopefully you're not going to use the sense of taste anyways, because that might be dangerous and you might get sick and not know what you put your mouth on, and that's just gross. Which of these 4 senses would you use to help find your friends if you couldn't see? The room is pitch black. No windows, no lights. What would you do? Explain how you would use 1 or 2 of these senses. Would you feel your way around? Would you call out? Would you use echolocation like a dolphin, like make noises? Would you try to sniff them out? What would you do? All right, go ahead and pause the video to finish explaining what you would do in this situation. I'm going to pause here. On the next page is about illumination, and we're going to go into that more. So first, I just want you to imagine what would the world be like if you couldn't see. Okay? I feel like I would much rather, you do not usually ever have a choice in this say, but if I did have a choice, I feel like I would rather be deaf than blind, because holy moly, I value my eyesight so much. In the dark, I can't see in the dark. Even in my bedroom, Mr. Wrenchler always laughs because I have to get into the bed first, and then he has to be the one that turns the light off, because I cannot turn the light off and then find my way to the bed, even though we have 2 nightlights in our bedroom. I just can't see in the dark. I don't like it. And we've been places that it's been super duper dark and you can't see. Like, even if I put my hand right in front of my face, I can't see. And I don't like that. Things that I have to do that make me be blindfolded. Like, I'm just not good at it and it scares me. And I know that if I really were blind, like, I would adapt and it would be okay. And most blind people, by the way, don't see things like where it's super duper pitch black and they can't see things in front of their faces. Most blind people see a little bit of light. They're not saying that they can see, but it's not as dark as if we were in the basement with no windows and no lights on. It's a little bit light to them. Like, they can see a little bit of light. And some people who are blind can still see shadows. So what that means is that they can tell if it's lighter outside or if it's dark at night, because if you close your eyes and you're in a room with the lights on, you can sense that it's lighter. But if you turn the lights off and the room goes super duper dark, your senses, like, you can tell that it's darker. And that's kind of how some blind people are. So some know, like, if you put your hand in front of your face, they just see not a clear shadow, but they can sense that something went in front of their face, if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is that even if we are blind, or even though people might be blind, it doesn't always feel to them like they are in a windowless, pitch black room. Okay? So I don't want you to think that being blind is like completely dark. That's not always the case. But I would definitely, if I could choose, I would definitely rather be deaf, because I can read lips, I can learn sign language, I can write a note, I can read a note. Just don't take my eyes away. I can't walk with my eyes, much less take my eyes away. All right, sidetracked, sorry. Lights. We need lights. I need lights. What would happen if you lost the lights and you were in the room? How would you find your friends? What senses would you use? How would you do it? I can't wait to see your guys' explanations and your responses. Have a great day, guys.